Well, we got a little bit of news on Odell Beckham Jr., or do we? We'll talk about that coming up. So that coming up in the first break. You guys get a kick out of this one. Second of all, they passed a rule where you can wear the number 0. You can be a nothing in this league. Man, this is funny. There's a different little couple stipulations to it, but I will tell you which Browns player might have the inside track on that new number 0 that just came off the showroom floor. The cut down date changed a little bit. Now, we'll tell you exactly how cut down day is going to go, and I'll give you a hint. It's all at one time on this episode of the Lock on Brown podcast.
You are Locked On Browns, your daily Cleveland Browns podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends, your daily delivery of all things Dog Pound LGB on the LOB, the Locked On Browns podcast, brought to you by the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Your hosts, Jeff Lloyd at Jeff_LJ_Lloyd. Also from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, 11 to 1, Monday through Friday, live on YouTube, on-air personality, the barbershop host, 92.3 The Fan. Every Saturday morning, Mr. Garrett Bush at GBush91. Everybody, for all your Cleveland Browns information, all your Locked On Browns, make sure you are subscribed to the Locked On Browns YouTube channel. Got those notifications on, so when the content drops, you are there to absorb it. As she said, we got some fun stuff here today. Just some different topics to rattle around. First off, my first question for almost all of y'all is, do we read or do we just see things? Okay, video put up. Odell Beckham Jr. obviously takes himself over today to the meetings in Phoenix, Arizona. As everybody knows, obviously, Odell, trying to find his next home in the NFL. Ironically enough, he shows up, gets out of a car. I'm not sure who the first person was getting out of another car. Throws a handshake over there, and then turns around, and there is Coach Kevin Stefanski. And
pulling up at the same time.
And Coach Stefanski, it's probably a sneaking out the door real quick, shooting a text to the wife, how are the kids, everything good? Yeah, I'll be back in the room in a couple hours. We'll FaceTime, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And you're face-to-face with the ex. And it was cordial. Obviously, handshake, bro hug, all the good stuff. And then automatically, you guys all take the ball and run with it. The Browns may have interest in Odell Beckham Jr. If this doesn't tell you, the one thing you guys all don't get, and it seems so glaringly obvious, it's so much different now in any professional sport today. The camera's going. But gee, everybody's making a boatload of money. You may be aggravated. You may have been pissed off in the moment at anything that goes on in professional sports. But at the end of the day, you go home. You got a great big house. You got financial security. You should truly be happy and blessed. So there is no ill will. It doesn't happen that way. What happened, happened. And for anybody trying to reignite some flicker of Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore, David Bell, Marquise Goodwin, David Njoku. There is about 98.9% of the targets that Deshaun Watson will throw this year. You think Odell's coming here to maybe get 30 targets? And come on. Look, Odell, I don't know where the chapter is. And does he want to go play with Lamar in Baltimore? Maybe. Does he want to go play for the Baltimore Ravens and whatever's behind door number 2? 100% no. There's a home for Odell, and I'm going to say it. I think the actual perfect fit for Odell Beckham Jr. is wearing red and gold in the barbecue capital of the world in Kansas City. I pray he goes to the NFC because I don't want to see him. I most certainly do
Hey,
not.
Stop saying, Jeff, why you gonna do that? You don't get
Look,
this
so we got to
man.
worry about him AFC championship game. Now, I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
But guys, look, yes, he saw Coach Stefanski. They said hello. That's it. If, man, something got flamed up of about every bro hug I've ever thrown out in my life, oh, sweet Jesus, the things that would go on. But, hey, he is the ultimate lightning rod in the NFL, and that's never going to change.
Man, look, man, I had to get the camera out. See, people be in the bushes. They be looking at you.
For real, dude.
Let me find. Listen, they even fooled me for a heartbeat. I said, hold on, what's this?
You got Jets fans saying he's wearing green pants. If that doesn't tell you anything.
What is this thing right here? Here, the mint green pants. He had the mint greens on. By the way, only skill positions get that stuff off, man. You can't be no big dude running around with no big mint green pants. But I will say this though, man. They almost had me myself, bro. I said, look, man. But here's the thing about it. Like you said, everything worked out for Odell when it came to it. Like at the end of the day, it wasn't working out for him in Cleveland at the time, bro. Like he left, like he didn't get as many targets he wanted. He left and he won a Super Bowl. Like that man got to play in the Super Bowl. Now, unfortunately, he got hurt, and unfortunately for the Browns, they found out that Baker Mayfield wasn't the guy. But then we got Deshaun Watson because Baker Mayfield wasn't the guy. So, things work out differently for a lot of people. I will say this, man. He's taking the non-Lamar Jackson route. Brother won a job, bro. He first, I'm like, dang, you showed up at the owners meeting. I mean, he was there. He's letting everybody know, hey, look, bro, I'm healthy.
He's handing out his LinkedIn account.
Oh man, LinkedIn, bro. He's giving out business cards.
Here's my WhatsApp.
He's ZipRecruiter. He got brochures handed out. Listen, he got the 2-for-1. He got the business cards and the pamphlets. Like, yeah, man, this is the rehab. He came with his manager. His manager was like by his side. Like they just had gift baskets at the door, like shaking hands. I appreciate it. I mean, he's not going the Lamar Jackson route, but he just want to get his mind out there, trying to get his brand back out there. So, hopefully he'll end up playing somewhere. Somebody, I always say this the way the league works. Somebody is just trying to work the right move. They may be banking on a couple of guys, like maybe we like a young guy we got here. Maybe it's some stuff a guy they trying to wait on, and if he don't do nothing in camp, his name can be called. And he's a dude that don't need no camp like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's going to stay in shape. He can learn the playbook or whatever. So he's one of them dudes. And we kind of talked about some guys yesterday who are veterans. They don't want a part of going in the OTAs and none of that stuff. So he'll get picked up. And hopefully it's not by one of them stacked teams in the AFC. But at the end of the day, I still don't understand why he's not good fit in Dallas. To me, Jerry Jones. I mean, you got Brandon Cooks. I don't know about the Gallup. I'm confused why y'all still like him. Y'all love Gallup for some reason. He was never good to me. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, Mary Kay, she poured cold water all over it. So,
but nobody picked up that part. Nobody picked up that part. Once you saw the video, dude, she could have written that. She could have written that like Bart Simpson in the GIF where he keeps writing, "Odell and the Browns won't happen. Odell and the Browns won't happen." Nobody saw that. Nobody sees that. They just see that Coach Stefanski said hello to Odell Beckham Jr. And, look, obviously the storyline, I know, would have been here. It was cold as ice. They didn't speak to each other. One went left. One went right. Yeah. They absolutely hate each other. At the end of the day, nah, man. And look, and this is one of the things that's always the most difficult is the players don't care as much as the fans do. They don't. You all lose your minds over, the jersey swaps at the end of the games. And I get it. Deep dive and doing what we do as long as we do it. Look, I absolutely love watching the games, but the fandom side of you kind of dies a little bit inside because you understand, and look, these guys, and you have some guys that are absolutely fantastic people, Nick Chubb, Myles Garrett, the things these guys do charity wise, all that good stuff. And at the end of the day, that is truly what matters. But these guys are living the ultimate dream. They get to play the game they love and get paid a boatload of money to do it. Odell, wherever the next chapter is. And I agree with you, G. I don't think we're going to hear very soon. I don't, because if I were him, I am. Because it's a 1-year deal. Wherever he goes, it's a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure it is choice.
Because if he can get the 1-year deal, you can possibly get a 3 that actually really is a 2 the next year.
Yep.
That's what you're looking for.
Exactly. And, look, a second ACL, and, people do have their pause and reservation. But we're going to get to a fun one here as we switch it up on your latest Locked On Browns. Some rules have been passed today at the NFL's owner meetings. And we'll get to the first one here, and we'll see, because first guy's trying to jump in his pool for the Cleveland Browns. We'll see whether or not he's going to have some competition. Jeff Lloyd, G. Bush, your latest Locked On Browns. We are getting close to the end of the NBA season. We've got Final Four weekend. We've got Major League Baseball kicking off. So now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It's safe, secure, super easy to use. And then you can bet on everything from the money line, individual point scores, and three-pointers drained. Me, I cannot wait. Birthday boy on Thursday, opening day of Major League Baseball. And best thing I'm going to do with FanDuel is I'm going to go with a same-game parlay for my New York Mets. I'm going to pick 3, 4, 5 bets that look like long shots, $5, $10, whatever. And if I hit, I'm going to make some decent money. If I don't, $5, $10, whatever. But same-game parlay, things you can do with FanDuel. So you do not miss your chance to get your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. That is FanDuel.com/lockedon to learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Welcome back to the Locked On Brown podcast. I want to thank everybody out there for making Locked On Browns their first listen of each and every day. Please subscribe on YouTube. Hit the notification bell so you know when all of our content is dropping. We got a fun little story here. The league has now passed the right and the rule that people, and I'm feeling, first of all, I feel discriminated against. For the big guys.
Oh, gee, they definitely pointed right at you and said, no, big fella, none for you.
No, big fella, none for you. The number 0 is alive and well. So now you can wear the number 0. I know you guys I've seen it over college football. I think it was the second year in a row that college football did it. You could wear number 0. And in college, defensive linemen could wear the number 0. For the purposes of the NFL, defensive linemen and offensive linemen are not allowed to wear the number 0. So that is kind of cool. I know for a fact there's going to be some coaches that are going to be old school. I know one of the Coach Prime out in Buffalo says we don't do the number 0 because everybody is somebody. He got, and I know I don't know how you guys came up, but we had military coaches, right? And so our military coaches, they came from the Air Force. One of the things was no earrings when you working out, no long hair. We wore
keep the bandanas and the do-rags back at the back at the house, guys. They ain't coming here.
No head wraps, all gray t-shirts. And then the big one for a lot of people was no single digits that don't belong on people that's not small. And on top of that, the number 1 will not be given out because the number 1 is a selfish number. I was like, you didn't put the number 1 as selfish? That's crazy. Everybody wants the number 1. So we never had to really worried about it. But Jeff, your feelings on the number 0, because to me, it's going to be a little weird seeing a defensive back with it. Usually defensive backs have the slimming figure. So wearing a 0 kind of makes it look like they got a big, it makes them look round shaped. And I don't know how I feel about that. So that's why I was confused. Why wouldn't you let the big fellas have it? Like Tomlinson with the 0. Come on now, that looks great. But I know that there's going to be some people. I think you got a guy who you feel like the Browns is really going to be the number 1 candidate for the number 0, and you'll let us know who that is.
Well, G, now you and I obviously, not too far apart in age-wise, but there was always a thing about the single digits. First things first, you never do anything alone, so you don't wear a single digit.
Right.
Because, and the nonsense that went with it. And then even crazy. We would tug and we would pull and we'd be like, can we at least have it on a practice jersey, dude?
Yeah, come
And
on,
like we
bro.
eventually got to, all right, you
All
can
right.
have that. And then
This
all of a
guy.
sudden, my senior year, they ordered new jerseys, and I don't know where the faux pas came, but all of a sudden, and like the seniors, you were called in, hey, come help set us all
Yep,
up.
yep, yep.
I opened up the box and I was like, oh, and I tell my guy, like, what? I was like, dude, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And we were all laughing because we were like, they're probably going to send this back.
Yeah,
Like
right.
they're going to be aggravated when they see this. They're going to make us send it back.
Boy.
Like there's some screw up or whatever. So, there it was, and me at the time, I didn't want 1. First thing first, the thought of a single digit was dope as hell.
Yeah,
I wanted 9. 9 was the one. So there was, we all hung them up and they were like, well, where was he? What do you mean, guys? There were, X amount of boxes. So and we went through it and they eventually caved. And where we got it from and where we got him to cave was Jerome Bettis playing at Notre Dame used to stat it up, right? The tape all over the black cleats. And his thing, and we had heard and how he got Lou Holtz to agree to it was, Coach, it looks good. If it looks good, I feel good. If I feel good, I play good. And we were like, whoa, if Lou Holtz said yes, how are you all going to say no?
And
how
Lou Holtz
say
was
no?
the stickler.
You got it.
Lou Holtz, if he could, he had everybody out there in practice jerseys with nothing on. Exactly. They don't even got names on the back.
It doesn't matter who the penalty was on. It's college. They don't announce the number anyway. Holding on that guy over there. So, no, but here's the deal with it for the Browns. Greg Newsome is kind of already gone out. And it's funny for Greg Newsome, a guy who seems to have taken a social media break. His social media break was, I think I take longer naps. But Greg Newsome is maybe chiming in already. It's tricky though. Greg Newsome wants to change the number 0. Greg Newsome got to write a check. Yeah, there are number 20 jerseys printed to be purchased, and in the NFL, you got to cover that freight.
Yeah.
Now there is somebody new into the fold from the New York Jets who wore number 8. And look, Kellen Mond wearing number 8 versus Elijah Moore wanting number 8. That could probably change really quickly, and I'm sure Elijah Moore could get that number if he wants. But if Elijah Moore doesn't want to, and here's the cool thing about it, you were the first player in any franchise's history to wear that number.
Right.
You will be the first guy to wear it. So no one will ever look at number 0 in a Cleveland Browns jersey and not think of Elijah Moore.
And theoretically, you are one of the first people that can make that number jump. Because if a really good player puts 0 on
and he's
good and he makes it pop, he's automatically the most known 0 in the game.
The amount of tweets I saw today, and look, Elijah Moore is going to be a popular Browns player. There's no question about it. But if Elijah Moore gets 0, they will fly out of the pro shop.
Yeah,
they will absolutely fly out of the pro shop. And look, for the NFL, and look, even for the Eagles, like when they suggested it, you know what my reaction was? It was like, we got nothing better. Like there's nothing more pressing needs right now. We're worried about whether or not 0 can be a jersey number. But the amount of response already between players and fans on social media, it's huge. It's big. It's nuts. And look, it's difficult for me because all the years I played and now about to turn 49 on Thursday, it was never an option in football.
Man,
you never thought of 0.
Man, what? Like, listen, it was hard enough. You couldn't even really, even though we knew 0 was a thing in basketball. When I played varsity basketball, the numbers went by the jersey sizes. So, like, you have a number.
You got 45.
You got 4, and we had even numbers. So you either got 50, 54, or 52. And because those jerseys were the biggest jerseys. So you come from playing different places, like, yeah, what number you want? And they just print the jersey up. Oh no, unless your team got new jerseys, and then they were like, well, listen, we're not going to give you number 1 or number 4 or number 6, because then chances are a small guy wants number 4 or 6. And so we got a size 52 jersey long. And no, we're not doing that. You're just going to get the biggest ones. So if you couldn't get it in basketball, let alone what you think you could get off of football.
No doubt. But and this is one thing I'll say is the NFL, how about passing something that makes the players happy? At the end of the day, who the hell cares what jersey they're wearing or what positional players are wearing what jersey numbers? And I don't ever want to give the league a lot of credit, especially with the Jim Trotter stuff that's going around. But you want to know what? They are the product. They are why we watch. They are why the kids watch. They are why parents buy jerseys for their kids.
And they've gotten it right the last
just,
couple of years because they let them wear the single digits, right? So they got rid of that. They let them wear 0, and they start letting them celebrate with their teammates. It didn't matter what you were doing. If you celebrated as a team, it wasn't a 15-yard penalty, and that's been a big hit as well.
Exactly. You got to do some things here to keep these guys happy. And you know what? At the end of the day, who the hell cares? It's a damn jersey. And you want to know what? You know, the NFL is finding a way to make some coin on every damn thing.
Yep.
So when these 0 jerseys go flying out the door, they're like, oh, well, that was kind of dumb on our part. We could have been making this money for a while now. We're going to keep going here, though. Another actually interesting rule change that came by today. And there's several reasons that I like this. And this is another one that seemed really simple and, something that you probably could have done in the last year or two. We're going to get to that. Jeff Lloyd, Garrett Bush, the latest Locked On Browns, YouTube, subscribe, Locked On Browns, notifications on when it drops. You guys are there to consume it.
Let's get back into it. G Bush, Jeff Lloyd. You can follow me at GBush91. Follow Jeff at Jeff_LJ_Lloyd. We got some new stuff. The league has announced some stuff from the owners meeting. Them out there meeting, and no, it wasn't Odell Beckham Jr. You can check that out in the first segment. If you missed it, go rewind that a little bit. They've announced that they are doing the 53-man roster cut all at once. What does that mean? Well, before there was waves you had to do. You had to get under a certain amount. I forget what the number is, but they had 3 cuts. The first after the first preseason game, another one after a couple other preseason games, and then you had your final cut where you would get to your 53-man roster. And you could bring some guys back. I believe it's 10 to 12 people for the practice squad. And so I like this move, Jeff. I really do, because first of all, it gives you a reason to have those 3 preseason games. It's gotten to a point where you now have an opportunity that you can see all of those guys for the whole entire time. Maybe you like the guy, and if you're scouting and trying to figure out whether or not you want to pick a guy up after he was cut by a team, maybe he wasn't getting no reps that 3rd week. Maybe he played in the 2nd game, and then the 3rd game came around, no reps. So now you don't have any tape on him. Now, pretty like for now. So all those guys, it's going to be a really big evaluation game, because the 3rd preseason game is going to be the game where all of these guys are going to play. And a lot of people are going to be trying to rehearse and audition, get some tape on themselves and go around the league. So that's a really big day. But I think the coolest part about it is, look, you're getting paid. So it guarantees you, if you all at once have to go from 90 some odd people to 53, all those guys are going to get another extra check, another extra opportunity to get some game tape, another opportunity to kind of, get some stuff out there and actually to practice. Because think about it, you might not even got in the first game or the 2nd game. You might have only got in the game because the guy that was ahead of you, that was close to making the roster, got hurt. Now you get an opportunity to at least have some tape on film and to get your feet wet. So I like the move. I think it's a really cool move for them to do it that way, because it gives you longer time in the process. And at the end of the day, I mean, this might be your only cup of coffee in the league anyway. Right. And, this might be all she wrote. So at least now we don't have to be cutting down. I can evaluate you and give you a good look to, give you the most chance to maximize your ability to make a squad.
Well, for me, there's several factors here that I find really appealing and very, very intelligent on the NFL's part with agreeing to this move. What happens with the guy, who gets, a Charlie horse in his thigh week 1, of training camp? Not even talking about the first preseason game. How many guys do we see never got a shot because they got a minor injury? And you want to know what? Oh, if you got to sit out a week, by the time you got back up to speed, you were out of the mix. So that's always been tough. The other thing is these guys who get cut right before the 3rd preseason game. Yeah, maybe you make it into somebody else's camp. You're there for 2 practices. How much of the playbook do you know? And then you go into that final preseason game and your head on a swivel, you can't perform. You give guys 6 weeks. So now, they're going to get 2 weeks for the Browns. Remember this year, 4 preseason games, have the Hall of Fame game this year. So the Browns have 4. So you get, these guys get 2 weeks. They get to go into the Hall of Fame game, which most likely starters don't play. Then you continue practicing well. You're going to get second quarter reps in the second preseason game, third quarter reps. Then to that third preseason game for the Browns, that's dress rehearsal. That's usually where, we're going to see more of the regulars. But you have all this time to get into the system, get film on yourself within the system. It gives guys the best opportunity to have, a step up to the plate and at bat to actually legitimately make this team. It's going to make cut down weekend absolutely insane. There is, and look, and for the most part, any NFL team, when they go into training camp and you got a roster of 90, maybe it's a roster of 60, the first 30 out the door. You do. But these guys get to go out there, and there's so much, familial within the NFL, coaching trees, da-da-da-da-da. Hey, I watched this guy. He's run this route. This is all part of us. Look at this. Yeah, these guys get a legit opportunity to give themselves a true job interview to A, the team that they're going to play for, B, teams who have coaching friends who run similar systems, so you get to see guys play in your system even though they didn't play for you, or C, just do things in general on tape because they were able to be there for so long and they are confident in what they are doing on the field as far as their reads, their reactions, following the playbook, following their assignments. Look, Labor Day weekend is going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. 37 names off the board or whatever. Then we go through the waiver wire. For the Browns, that used to be when you got about 10% of your roster for every season. It's not like that anymore here for the Browns, where you go into Labor Day weekend. Maybe we can get a starting linebacker. Maybe we can get a third safety, a nickel corner, and a fourth wide receiver. It's not going to be like that anymore. But this gives, the long shots the best opportunity to put themselves in a position to either gain a spot with the team they are with or to get enough film out there to get, other teams interested. And don't forget, look, we're back. It's post-COVID. We've got minor league football teams. They say, oh, hey, so-and-so, he saw 100 preseason reps last year with the Cleveland Browns. He's doing nothing. Is he interested in come playing for the XFL? Is he interested in coming to play for the USFL? So 2 good moves here. One for the overall players as far as giving them the opportunity here. And one, given the 0, it's kind of like, when it's Friday night and it's 10 o'clock and your kids, it's like, well, what's 30 more minutes? It's Friday night. They ain't got nothing to do anymore anyway. Give them the number right. 0, bro.
Yeah, it's like, listen, go ahead and have a little fun, man.
What's an extra cookie after 10 o'clock? Man, it's Friday night, man. So the NFL, obviously, rule changes here. One, we want to review roughing the pass. Get the heck out of here with that, dude. It is such an in-the-moment call, and it is so difficult. Look, there's going to be fan bases that are pissed at times over roughing the passer. There's going to be fan bases that are ecstatic sometimes. It's the ultimate, edge, knife in the heart type of call. But there is no way, and that's one of the things I hate the most, G, is trying to take an in-the-moment call and say, well, technically, he really didn't within the letter of the law. Look, and the other thing is, at the end of the day, sports, there will always be bad calls. There's nothing you can do about it, man. And I'll tell you right now, I don't want robot umpires. I don't want robot. By any means, no. Look, it happens. Sometimes something gets missed, whatever. And until you are all the perfect 100% human being and every single thing you do, I don't want to hear about anybody else. And I certainly don't want to hear about officials other than the guy that threw JT Realmuto out yesterday. Because
goodness.
What was you? That was the most.
Why would you do that, man? That's the dumbest.
And the only thing that could have gone wrong there was Realmuto got hurt. The ball could have landed on him. He could have took it in the knee. He took his glove down. I don't know what the hell the umpire was pissed for, but that's a story for another day. So Odell, and perhaps the most overhyped bro hug in the history of Cleveland sports history. Jersey numbers 0. We'll see. Me, I'm going to plug it. Maybe my guy Elijah Moore. 90-man rosters all the way through training camp. So, and for the Browns, this is probably a little bit advantageous. You were looking at guys, potential undrafted free agents. Hey, man, you can be with me all summer, and I got a chance to put you on the field 4 times. Not many teams can offer you that other than the New York Jets, and you don't want to go there anyway. This has been, I'm sorry, wait a minute. No. G. Bush, Garrett Bush, at G. Bush 91, Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, Monday through Friday, 11 to 1. The transition is coming. Yeah, you're getting Cavs playoff basketball, Guardians regular season, Browns draft talk. Those guys are jumping over there as far as content. Saturday mornings, the Barbershop 92.3, The Fan, your host, Garrett Bush. Make sure you're checking that out as well, at G. Bush 91. For any and all info regarding Garrett, myself, Jeff Lloyd, at Jeff_LJ_Lloyd. The show at Locked On Browns, follow back account. Again, we've had a lot of fun here the last couple of weeks. The growth just continues to keep coming. I think it's been about over 400 new subscribers here in about the last almost week to date. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. We appreciate you for all that. So check out everything that's been up there. We've been, trying to bust it here. I've been hearing from new people the last few days, dropping messages and just saying how much they appreciate the work. They appreciate the content. And I'll always tell you, no, we appreciate you. And we appreciate you guys for watching. And we appreciate you guys for listening. All that being said, boys and girls, this has been your daily delivery of all things Dog Pound. LGB on the LOB. Let's go Browns.